In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the asynchronous serial communication. So in asynchronous serial communication, we have discussed like examples like live or chatting or live interactions, like both the sides we can get transmitted and receiving data. Whereas asynchronous serial communication, the data coming in the receiving end of the data line in the serial data transfer is as zeros and ones. It is difficult to make sense that the data unless the sender or receiver agree on a set of rules or protocol. Like if I'm getting continuously zeros and ones, I cannot combine it to form an information, right? I should know where it should start, where it is getting started, and where it is getting ended, right? So I have to follow certain rules. So how many bytes constitute a character and when the data begins and ends. Asynchronous serial communication is widely used for character oriented transmissions. So clearly have a note of it. So basically we can get into a character format. In this method, each character is placed between start and the stop bits, right? So it is called as framing. The data framing for the asynchronous communication, that is, the data such as ASIC characters are packed between the start bit and the stop bit. So we have two bits, that is stop bit and start bit. So between these two bits, the data or the character will be assigned. The start bit is always one bit and the stop bit can be one or two bits. The start bit is always zero, that is lower, and stop bit is always high. Look at the below example, like we can have a glance of it. Here we have the start bit and we have the stop bit. So we always I have noted like start bit should be 1, right? Sorry, start bit should be at 0, and after the 0 whatever the bits continue, it will be taken as the characters, and when the stop bit is 1 or twice, I have to give, for example, if the last bit is 1, I have to give my stop bit twice so that it indicates that the character has been stopped. And here the other terminology we have to get into note, that data transfer rate, that is rate of the data transfer in the serial communication, is stated by bits per second, that is BPS. Another widely used terminology for bits per second is baud rate. So the baud rate is a modern terminology, and yes, defined as a number of signals per second. So baud rate. So BPS stands for bits per second, which can be termed as baud rate, and it is a modern terminology. Okay. Next, we can have few examples for the asynchronous serial communication. Like I have already given you an example of video conferencing, that is live interactions. Here it is not a live interaction, whereas it is an communication of both, but not at a time. It is not a live interaction, but it is also interaction. Like we can get the example of emails, texting, or Microsoft Teams, comments or updates in the project management platforms, and video messages, like other Google Doc, Code Doc comments like that, right? So here, what happens here is I will be sending in text, and after sending only I can receive a text, or else both the information, sending information, receiving information will be in two different timings, not at a time, or it will be two different types. Like I will be sending a mail and I will be receiving the mail, but the characters will be two different types. So what are the benefits of this asynchronous communication is more flexibility. Like I can get the response clearly and I can differentiate it clearly. Allow teams in different locations to communicate. So for example, for live interactions, I may not have the feasibility to connect to the call, or I may not have the flexibility. Whereas in a texting format, I can text whenever I get a signal, or whenever I get free, I can respond to your questions and talk without disruption. So during the phone call, like if I'm not having any uh, signals, the call gets disrupted, while in the text it will be a smoother format. So these are the examples and benefits, and we have discussed more deeply about serial and asynchronous serial communication and asynchronous communication. So in the next lecture, we will be discussing about the LCD and keypad interfacing. So make a note of it and be clear of both the types of communication and programming. Thank you.